Hello. What is going on, guys? We are here live in the flash. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. But I believe we are live. I'm trying OBS Studios, but today's topic is basically how to really get your brand to the next level. So if you guys are fired up and ready to go, let me know how your sales are going, and I'm just gonna make sure everything's working right. But yeah, today's topic is basically how to get way more sales on eBay guaranteed. And, that is the most important thing. So, hopefully, I'm coming through clear. This is the first time, like I said, on OBS. And it looks like it's working. So, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it down below. If you are watching this on the replay, I appreciate it, and I will pretty much answer any questions here. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the chat on OBS, but we're gonna get straight into the topic today, and the topic is basically how to get way more sales on eBay. So if that is something that you're interested in, then smash the like button, and we'll get straight into the value right here today. And so what I did recently was kind of is that better? I think I fixed it there. It's because I turned down the gain, I think. But yeah, so basically what I did recently was I adjusted a lot of my prices because I thought that a lot of my prices were a little too high, and I kind of like was overpricing a lot of items this month because I was trying to really raise my ASP, but it definitely brought down some of my sales. So I'm being way more aggressive with just like my sales strategy, and I think that's really, really important, because the last thing that you want to do is overprice things, because when you overprice things, like, you'll know immediately because you'll have way less offers to send. And that's like, if you wake up and you don't really have a bunch of offers to send out, then there's an issue going on. So you really have to make sure that you price really competitively. And what you can do to do that is obviously research your item on eBay, see what they're selling for, see what they're listed at, and try to price at market or slightly below market. If you really overprice it, you're not going to be seen on the first page. And so it's very, very important that you aggressively list your items if you want them to start selling. But welcome to the live, guys. If you are watching this live right now, make sure you smash the like button. It'll really take the stream to the next level, and our goal is 30 likes on the stream. I think our record was 40, so we'll see if we smash it here. We'll give you guys some value, and yeah, so make sure you do that. So welcome, guys. Johnny B. Dope. They're saying that the mic sounds a lot better. Travis Wick, what's going on, Baus? Hope you're doing incredible. PJR, started my store last month. Nice, man. How's it going? How are your sales going? Johnny B. Dope, how long do you price things compared to other people selling the same thing? How low do you price? I have pretty aggressive markdown strategies, and I'd say when I first started, I was kind of marking everything up like 20% over market. And then recently I've been kind of doing it at market or 20% under market. And then my shipping, usually like with shipping, like for first class, you probably want to price it at around like $5.95 flat rate for first class, and up towards $6.80 for the higher end of first class, like flat rate. And then anything that is priority, if it fits in like a legal flat rate envelope, you want to price it at like $8.90 up to like $9.99 max. So the majority of my items are for priority $8.90, and then I'll just put it in a flat rate envelope. It'll cost me like $7.60, and then I make like, I don't know, $1 profit. But today I went sourcing for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and I got like all bangers. When I first started, I would just, my filter was really bad. I would just pick up anything. Like I would pick up Morona and George and like just a bunch of button ups and a bunch of just things that are still in my store. So one of the greatest pieces of advice that I can give you guys is really pass up. Be more aggressive with passing up on items. So like if it has stains or marks, or if it's not in the best condition ever, I would just pass it and really just stay longer at the bins, or just stay longer thrifting until you find an item that really meets all your requirements. Because like I said, when I first started, I would pick up things that had stains and defects and snags, and like maybe a button was missing, and I didn't really look through the items. Like I remember when I first started, I would get a bunch of cashmere and I would miss up on so many holes, and that's a huge issue because with cashmere, pretty much if it has a hole, it's not really going to get a sale. So you really need to make sure that you guys are being very selective. That's one of my biggest takeaways from this year, is being way more selective and just spending more time at the thrifts and really expanding my Rolodex. There's a bunch of great YouTube channels out there that do thrift hauls, what sold videos. I try to do that as often as possible. And these YouTube channels are really good because a lot of them do make some really good profit and good like monthly numbers. So see and really study what they're selling and really ingrain those brands in your subconscious mind. Even if you don't necessarily know what the item is, it's going to get ingrained in the subconscious. So then when you're at the bins or the thrift stores, you'll just see it. Like for instance, James Purse. Like I'm not a huge like expert on James Purse, but it was deep in my subconscious. And then when I went into the Goodwill bins like yesterday, I found a James Purse button up. And I was like, wait, I heard that before. Someone on YouTube said that was good. And so when I looked it up, sure enough, it sells for like $30 and it was in pretty good condition and everyone passed up on it. And so in this live, I'll also talk about my bin strategy and my thrifting strategy if you guys are interested, but leave your comments down below. And I'd be happy to answer any questions for you guys and be happy to service you and basically get your business to the next level. Let me know what your guys' goals are. Like how much per month would really make this worth it for you? Like how much do you want to make per month, right? And what I would recommend is to get a whiteboard and basically track your daily numbers. And you could either track your profit or your gross and have your goal. So for instance, let's say it was $10,000, right? You would have $10,000 on your whiteboard, and then you would have the number that you're actually at. There's something very interesting about tracking your numbers. What you focus on and what you track grows. And so when it's right in front of you, it holds yourself accountable. And then also if you have like roommates or family members or a girlfriend and she's looking at that too, it's going to really push you to want to really make more money because like they can see your numbers, and everyone wants to obviously make more money and everyone wants to be seen like they make a lot of money. So when you have your actual numbers right in the like right in the front of even on like the fridge, you could have your numbers, and it's going to motivate you to source better items and really hold yourself accountable to where you're listing every day. Because I think what it comes down to is listing high quality items every day. I took a couple days off and it really hurt my store. Like nothing like crazy, but you can definitely tell when you're going 30 a day down to 10 per day. Like you can see the traffic difference and you can see the sales difference. And usually when you do that, a lot of your good stuff sells off, and then what you're left with is your lower tier items. But let's get to the comments here. If you guys are watching this live right now, make sure you smash the like button. You will get a sale within the next 24 hours. If you don't, let me know and we will refund you the like itself. But our goal here is 30 likes. And so if you guys are watching this and you haven't already liked it, please give the video a thumbs up. It'll go a really long way. And leave your questions down below because you guys have me here in the flesh. And by the way, I don't monetize this channel right now. I did get accepted for AdSense, but I decided to just keep the ads off because I don't want to annoy you guys with ads. And the channel is still so small that it wouldn't really make sense for me to have ads right now. So if you guys appreciate that, definitely smash the like button. It's going to help my YouTube algorithm. It's going to help push this live out to more people. And yes, this channel is small, but we can make a really big impact with the community that we already have. So leave your questions down below. It'll stretch out this live because I'll go off of your questions and I'll stay on topic on how to make more sales. But let's kind of read through. I love offers in the morning. Yeah, I usually wake up to like when I price my items right. Like, it's weird. I get super greedy. Like, I'll have a crazy sales day and then I decide to like increase my prices for some reason. It's like this constant loop that I do. And then as soon as I start raising the prices again, then I can tell right away with offers because my offers will be down in the morning. Like, when I'm pricing everything right, I wake up to like at least 13 to 15 offers. And then pretty much every like 10 to 20 minutes, I can send out offers all throughout the day. Like, I have the ability to send out offers pretty much every like time I check my phone. I can send out an offer. And what I would also do is kind of look at your older listings and really try to get them out of your store, because those listings might be hurting your conversion rate. And if you're getting like a bounce rate, eBay is not going to really want to promote your stuff. So try to price that original, like the crap items, try to price it as low as possible, to where maybe you make a slight profit or don't really make much. But I think it's smart to get all that stuff out and then really focus on just getting the best items ever in your store. And so that's what I'm working on. I aggressively mark down a lot of my older items, and like even if it sells for like $8 to $10, I don't really care. So PJR loves waking up to offers. I love doing that as well. I love waking up to offers, and I have a 25% coupon store wide. They can use it anytime. Then I'll send like 30%. I'll send them like a 30% coupon basically. And so I usually just do it 5% higher than what my store-wide markdown is. And then let's say it's like you have a really slow sales day and you're halfway through the day, like let's say 6 p.m., and you want to get really aggressive and you're behind on your sales, then you can send more aggressive markdown. So maybe instead of 30%, you do 40% or something crazy. It's really up to you. You got to know your numbers. You got to basically know what you're doing. And you have to obviously, like for your older stuff, like I don't mind making zero profit. I just want that stuff out so I can get more space, and then I can put gold items and like fill it in for gold items. Usually on shipping, I'm making a profit just on shipping because my shipping's a little bit higher. So pretty much anything that I sell, I will make profit just based off of shipping, because my cost of goods are literally like $1.50 per item. And I go to the Goodwill bins, and so I get things for dirt cheap, basically. And yeah. So PJR, 500 listings, sold 142. That's really good. Congrats on that. And if you just started like your first month, that's amazing, man. Let me know what you're picking up. What are your favorite brands? What was your biggest sale? Like, what was your biggest sale? What brand was it? For me, it was like Arc'teryx. It was just a vintage jacket. They sell for like $400 to $500 on eBay. And someone sent me an offer for like 170 or something, and I just took it because, like, first of all, it's summer, and second of all, I just want that money so I can redeploy it into better items. Like this, I got this today. This is a Peter Millar Summer Comfort Polo, and these do really good, and it's dirt cheap. It probably cost me like $1, literally, because it's so light, and so I can flip $1 into like $30 ASP. So PJR's listing 13 per day. That's great. PGR, yes, it's painful to list crap. Yeah, I feel you, man. It sucks. I've been there many times where I just dreaded listing an item because I was like, oh, this is just not worth my time. But if you guys have any questions, definitely leave it down below. That way I can handle any questions that you have. Or if there's any glitches or anything crazy going on with eBay right now. I heard that their numbers quarterly were down. And so that's really why they're trying to get really aggressive with our promotions, because they're trying to take more money from us. And so I don't really see myself increasing my promoted listing goal. Obviously, they want us to, because when you look at the recommended promoted rate, it's like before it would be at like 3 to 5%. And now when I look, it's like 12 to 15%. It's ridiculous. Like what they would recommend me to put my promoted listing rate as. It's just unbelievable. So instead of like fixing their, because this year's been crazy. Like I've had so many people reach out to me. They're like, I'm unable to check out. Like, so eBay really needs to focus on their actual like website and making sure that all the glitches are fixed, because like there's a lot of issues with eBay, and it seems like a lot of people have issues. Like I'm still doing good. Like I'm making great sales on eBay. Like last month I did $12,000 gross. And so I'm not complaining, but instead of like trying to milk their sellers, they should really focus more on how to actually fix their checkout. Cause I've had so many messages from like buyers saying like, hey, like I can't even check out. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, and it wasn't just one person. Like there was a month where it was like every, like, if I were to get like 5 sales, 2 of them would be like, hey, like I can't even check out. I'm not having that issue anymore, but instead of like milking the sellers, they should really focus on like working on their checkout and things. I've been selling really good today. That's great, Johnny. Yeah, talk about both strategies, please. I forget what I was talking about, so if you want to let me know what strategy you want to hear, I'd be happy to answer that for you. In the Bay Area, nice. Yeah, I'm right in Hollywood, right in the heart of it all. So the bins is like 20 minutes from me, and I just drive pretty much every single day. And I would consider myself a pretty healthy person, but when I'm sourcing at the bins, I tend to eat fast food, and I got to work on that. And let me know if you guys do that. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's healthy. And also, I got to start drinking more water, because like I feel like like since I started sourcing every day, I've been way more dehydrated. So make sure you guys are drinking water, because I drink like a lot of coffee, but I feel like I don't drink enough water. So have you guys been there? VIP, what's going on? 70% markdown. That's very aggressive. I don't know if 70% markdown would be smart, unless, like I said, it's an older item. So if it's been in your store for more than 6 months, I mean, and you need some space, like I know some of the top eBay resellers, I think when it's 6 months or older or a year older, they do like 70% markdown. And it's like, at least try to get the money that you spent so you can redeploy it into a better item that has a faster sell-through rate, because items change all the time. You know, like what maybe like Peter Millar used to be fire, and I'd get the sale like within a day, and now it's a little slower. So it's always good to refresh the sell-through rate, look in and really look up the sell-through rate before you source something, or try to just catch up on everything and make sure that all the brands that you love are still good sell-through rate. Because everything changes, and it's really up to us to really be on top of everything. But if you guys are getting value, make sure you smash the like button. Our PR was 30 in one broadcast. Looks like there's 13 people here, only 4 likes. So if you guys are watching this, please smash the like button. It'll get this live out to way more people. It'll also help me out tremendously. So if you could do that, that would be great. And it'll motivate me to do way more lives. So let's try to crack the code on 30 likes in a live. And so we have some more questions here. Johnny B. Dope, I'm guessing bounce rate matters as well. Yeah, if you think about it, like, eBay is in the business to make money, right? All they care about is making cash flow, pretty much like all of us. Like if we weren't making money, we wouldn't really be doing this, right? Because no one wants to be in like a bins that like doesn't smell great, right? But we do it because we make a good amount of profit and we can wake up to sales. Like who loves waking up to sales? Anyone? Does anyone love just waking up to sales where you look at your phone, you're like, oh, $100 profit without even eating, like before even drinking coffee? Like it's just the best feeling ever. And I read this quote that really got me inspired to want to do eBay, and it was like, rich people make money while they sleep. And so, creating business revenues and creating strategies to where you can make money when you're sleeping is one of the best business models ever. Like I've started businesses, like subscription models, like, and I still like run those businesses, and it's just the best. It's just the best when you can wake up to sales. Like it's incredible. Like it's honestly a blessing, and I'm super grateful for it. And it's not going to be something that is overnight. Like waking up to sales wasn't necessarily an overnight thing, even though it could happen your first week, first month, you just wake up to sales if you know what you're doing. It does take time, and it takes time just learning the process and being consistent. I think what eBay comes down to is just showing up and being consistent. But back to bounce rate, I'd say like eBay is in the business to make money, and they have like AI or an algorithm basically looking at every single account. And if they see that, like, think about it, would eBay want to promote and spend money on your page that has a high bounce rate, or would they want to spend money on a page that has very low bounce rate and their conversion rate is through the roof? Like obviously they're going to want to fuel more money and put more traffic into an account that has a lower bounce rate. And so usually what a bounce rate is like if you're priced too high, you're probably going to get a bounce rate. If your photos are not congruent with the item specifics, you're going to get bounce rate. If you source a lot of items that have holes and scuffs and just not in the best condition ever, you're going to have higher bounce rate. So describing your items as best as you can, really trying to just source good items that are in good shape is really important. Like don't source anything that has holes or major stains, because it's just a waste of money, and you're gonna increase the bounce rate. And usually bounce rate also comes down to price. If you're overpricing an item, you may get a bounce rate. Like if you have a bunch of views on an item and a bunch of watchers, but you're not getting sales, it most likely you're either priced too high or there's some type of discrepancy in the tag photo and the item specifics. And I've been there many times where I'll take a photo of the tag, it says large, but then I messed up in item specifics or the title, and there's a discrepancy, and that can really increase the bounce rate. So, you know, I talk about on this channel going back into older listings and fixing everything. You can start with the items that have the most views and most watchers, and figure out why those items are not selling. Usually when I do that, I'll just bring down the price 5%, and I'm pretty sure they get alerted when the price is dropped by 5%, and then that can cause a sale. So I've done that many times where I just lower it 5% and then it sells. Because usually, like I said, it comes down to title and then price, and most of the time we're kind of overpricing our items. I've been revising my totals, and I sold 2 items in one day. Awesome, man. That's great. Yeah. It really helps, like when you revise your titles, when you just make little adjustments, even if you just add a new keyword. So for instance, let's say you have like board shorts, and in the keywords you put like surf, you could just change it to surfer or skater. And there's just something weird about just adjusting the title slightly. It gives it new life, brings it back up to the top. Same with like adding new photos and just making any little change in the item specifics, making it a higher quality listing, adding measurements if you haven't already. It just does something with the listing to where eBay gives you another chance to sell it. If you haven't got the sale in like a month to 3 months, like after the 3-month period, they're really not going to promote it unless you make a huge price change. That's why people do aged inventory markdowns. Dramatically decreasing the price can give it new life, or just switching around some of the keywords in the title, or making the title SEO optimized, which I have a bunch of videos on my channel that basically go over SEO optimization, and you need to get a good habit with that so you can make sure that you just do it the right way the first time. Like imagine just doing all your titles the right way the first time. Like it would just be incredible, right? Google, Yahoo, I'm not making any sales. Sorry to hear that. If you want to drop your store in the replay of this video, I've been doing some store reviews lately. I've been roasting accounts. I've been roasting people. I also went over tech and sports page. So that is what you should be, how you should model your page. And then I also have videos that just will absolutely roast you. And if you watch my videos, you know, you should be able to actually have a good store. It's really not that hard. You just have to treat it seriously and not be lazy. Johnny B. Dope, what is your sourcing and picking strategy? So number one, you got to have a good Rolodex. Know what are the key brands. I talked about on the live yesterday. You can go on REI Co-op, which is a good site to see what they're selling. They sell Cole, Piranha, all the newer outdoor brands that I find all the time at the bins. Even going in an REI, Co-op store and feeling the fabric and looking at all the different brands that they also resell is a really good way to study brands, look at brands, studying YouTube channels, what sold videos, thrift hauls, getting a really good Rolodex. That way when you go to the bins, you can just chill out, walk slowly, feel like a freaking gangster, and just find gold items all day. Like, I don't need to be the first one at the bins. Like, I usually come a little bit late. Like, everyone will swarm the bins, and then like I'll just pop in. Like, when everyone's waiting for the bins, I'm just like scooping everything that everyone missed up on, and I think that's a good strategy. I see people at the bins all the time, and it's usually vintage people, so their strategy is different. They want to be the first one in, scoop out the vintage. But I think if you're a reseller, like finding mall brand, like not even mall brand, but higher tier gold items, like not necessarily just vintage, you want to be like sourcing all day. You don't want to just chill out and wait for the cart to come out. You want to be walking and just sorting through constantly. It's just like, it's the law of averages. If you sort through 1,000 items, you're going to find 1 or 2 gold items. So it's just like spending more time sourcing and picking through everything. And eventually, if your Rolodex is big enough, you're going to start finding more items per hour because your Rolodex increases. And like, drink some coffee or like get super hydrated and get fired up and just like go through thousands of items. And I guarantee if you go through 1,000 items, you'll probably find maybe 2 out of 1,000. But then once your Rolodex starts to really increase, maybe you'll find 4 out of 1,000, 5 out of 1,000, 10 out of 1,000. And so that's really where you want to be. So the sourcing strategy is understanding fabrics, good brands, and just staying longer. And that's really what it comes down to. And trying to go through every single item in the bin if you can. That's really important. But if you guys are watching this right now, make sure you smash the like button. It's going to help. It's going to help basically push this broadcast out to more people on YouTube. Obviously, this channel is still really small. However, you guys are the ones that are going to build it. So all the likes will be greatly appreciated. And if you hit if you smash the like button, you will get a sale within 24 hours. I take 1 water, 1 Americano, raisins, almonds when sourcing. Nice. Yeah. I think that's healthier because there's a McDonald's right next to mine, which is just an abomination. And sometimes I crave McDonald's because it's right there. So I got to work on my McDonald's addiction, which is very crazy because like I'm so anti McDonald's that that's one of my biggest things I need to fix with my life right now is fast food. So yeah, I think that's smart. Bringing healthier choices to the bins is really good. I definitely bring coffee, and I need to start bringing like food that I make. PGR, I'm in Naples, Florida. How is Florida sourcing? Is it good? Have you been to the bins in Florida? Are those bins good? I want to try out the Florida bins, Texas bins, and let me know if you guys have a good Goodwill outlet like bins. Like, is it good there? Like for me, they kind of bring things out every 20 minutes, like 10 to 20 minutes. And so I have crazy amount of opportunity to find things like all day. So let me know if the bins that you guys go to are good. And I'd say mine's pretty good. I think LA has pretty fire bins because they kind of overprice the stores. And so I'm really happy with the bins in LA. I have sales estates everywhere. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I've never been to an estate sale, but do you find good clothing? Like, are you an everything seller? Do you just source clothes? Like, what's kind of your strategy with the estate sales? I know they obviously have clothing and things like that, but would you consider yourself an everything seller, or do you just specialize in clothing? VIP woke up to 10 this morning. Nice. That's incredible. Yeah, waking up to sales is literally the best ever. It's the best feeling ever. And when you wake up with no sales, you know you messed something up. I think the best rule of thumb is when things are going really good, just leave it, don't touch it, and just leave all the prices the same. Don't mess with your promoted listings. Just keep it and don't mess with your store, and just focus on listing new things and keep doing that same system. Because I've done it many times where things are going great and then I make a change and then it's not the same. So you have to really like slowly adjust like your store to where like you wake up and you have like 13, 20 plus send out to offers, and or whatever that number is for you. For some people it may be 5 in the morning is good. Some people it's 100 in the morning. So when you have a really good when you see like your traffic's up and you're getting a lot of sales and you're getting a lot of offers or just buyer initiated sales, that's when you know you're in a good place. When you just get those random sales, when people just see a good price and then they just buy it right away, that's when you know you're priced pretty good with your coupon. If you're not getting any seller initiated offers, you're probably priced too high. PGR, Warren Buffett, yep. His main philosophy is what? Don't lose money. Which is a good philosophy, and obviously making money while you wake up. The French teaching his American fellows, yes. When you buy a store, can you see your conversion rate even on a starter pack? Yeah, so even on the cheapest store, you get analytics and you can basically see everything. You can see your traffic, conversion rate. You get a lot of options. You can use coupons and markdowns. I think it's absolutely worth it. And then they just take it out of your sales. I think it's free, and then they take it out of your sales like 30 days after. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like, I think it's the 4th of every month. They just take it out of my sales. They don't take it from my bank. They just take it out of like the sales that I have on eBay. Because I get paid out daily, so it sits on the eBay app for like a day before it's sent to my bank. But yeah. You get all of that stuff when you buy a store. I think even on the cheapest one, you get pretty much all the options. You just don't want to pay a lot in insertion fees, because I've been there where my listing goal was like 30 per day and I ran out of listings, and then I ended up spending more money on insertion fees than just upgrading to like the next higher option. So do what is smartest for you. Irivas, it's stressful when they bring in new bins. It's so rushed and everyone is grabbing clothes like they're hungry. Yeah, so that happens, and you just have to like people miss great things all the time, because a lot of those people that are hungry and like going through everything, they don't really check things too closely. Like, they kind of pass up on a lot of things. So it's really important for you to kind of like swoop in after it's either calmed down, or you can just get elbowed and roll with the punches there. But if you guys are watching this, make sure you smash the like button. It's gonna broadcast this live out to way more of the viewers on the channel. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate all the feedback and all the likes and comments and everything. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know, and let me know how everyone is doing. If you have any questions at all related to eBay, pretty much anything, let me know, and I'll get to it. But yeah, Irivas, it is stressful, but once you go there consistently, you won't really be intimidated. Like LA, I guess, could, like, when you first go there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, especially when they roll out the shoes. Like, they roll out, the majority is like clothing, but then when they roll out the books or the shoes, people go absolutely crazy. And I usually don't, I'm not usually the first one there. Like I said, I'll swoop in after like 3 minutes when it kind of calms down, because like it definitely is really crazy. And the reason why it's so crazy is because those people are just like, they rely on like the things that are like, they're trying to find that like super gold item for like hundreds of bucks, when that's like, I think that's a little risky. I'd rather focus more on higher tier items that I can get in mass quantity to where my sales are super consistent. That's why for everything sellers, it can be a little harder, because like finding that next big banger can be hard. And so for me, I just like consistency. I like consistent sales. I like predictable income. And I like knowing pretty much how much I'm going to make. Like my graph is extremely steady every single day. I don't have big swings up. I don't have big swings down. It's very consistent. And it usually comes down to like my listing goal. So when I'm doing like 30 per day, my graph is really, really good consistently. Like I'd say if you can get to the point where you're doing 30 gold items per day or higher mid-tier items per day, when you hit that 30 mark and it's sustainable and you can afford it and you can pay all your bills and everything, that's really a good place to be. When you do like 30 per day, that's really when you're going to start making over $10,000 per month. If they're high sell-through rate, if they're really gold items in the clothing category, I think that's when you're doing 30 per day, and when you have around 2,000 listings in your store, that's when I easily hit over $10,000 per month. So that's just kind of like, obviously everyone's going to be different, but for me, when I was at like the 2,000 listed in the store and then doing about 30 gold items per day, that's really when I started making some really good consistent sales. And the secret is to not miss a day. So let me know what your sales goals are. Let me know how much you guys are on average doing per day. I think mine's around 400 per day. So let me know how much you guys are making on a daily basis and what is your goal. What would be worth it for you? So if you were just good and you had all your bills paid, like what is that goal for you guys? Is it 10,000, 20,000, 30,000? Where do you guys want to go? I want to hit 30,000 residually every single month. That's my main goal. So yeah, by the end of the year, I want to be at 20 to 30,000 gross. And I know I can hit it. It's just I basically just have to double my listing goal. So I have to basically just list 40 items per day to get there. Like 40 to 50 per day, and I'll be at 20 to 30,000 per month. So if you know your conversion rate and you know basically how many sales, so like you basically just double it. It's that simple. So if you are very consistent with sourcing gold items, let's say you're doing 20 per day and you're making 10,000 gross. If you just double that goal, and if you just double and stay consistent, you'll just double your sales. It just comes down to your conversion rate, your bounce through rate. And if you're sourcing similar items, or if you're, because a lot of people, when they increase their listing goal, they bring in more crap and filler and items that take longer to sell. So the goal is to, if you raise your listing goal, you have to maintain the quality. One of the top eBay sellers, he could find 120 gold items per day. Like the guy's crazy. He just didn't go to sleep. He's sourcing from 5 a.m. all the way to like 9 p.m. and he was sourcing 120 gold items per day. So it's absolutely possible. And the goal is to only source gold items if you increase the listing goal. So let's say you're doing 20 gold items per day. Let's say you bump it up to 10. It would hurt your store if that extra 10 is just filler and crap. It's really pointless, and you're going to spend more time shipping, which is annoying. So you don't want to spend more time with lower quality items. You want to be shipping out higher quality items where you're making at least $20 profit. I look for teacups at estate sales. That's great. Yeah, I heard Gary V found like coffee cups and stuff that sold for a lot, and that's interesting. Teacups. Let me know, Irivas, what was the most expensive teacup you've ever found? Yosef, what's going on, boss? I'm working on the tips. He said, thanks for the roast. Yosef is the person that I roasted with the store. He needs to do a lot of work on the store. So I made a roast video. If you guys want to check that out, it's on my channel. It was like a store review roast, and I absolutely roasted him. I'm working on the tips you gave me. So can you do a video how to take pictures and list and measure your clothes sometime? Yeah. But you could always just, go on my eBay store and just see how I do it. I can do a video, and I actually do have a video on my channel. So if you go further back, you can see my listing process. I do have a video on how I do measurements, how I list everything, but it's basically just a flat lay like you did. You just have to be more centered because you're at an angle where you can see your wall and your door. You have to really be right on top of it, have good lighting, and with the measurements, you just get the pit to pit For shirts, you just get the pit right here. It might be like 25 inches, and then you get from the top all the way down to the bottom. So you get pit to pit in length, and then for jeans, you just get the waist, the high seam, and then the length. And I do have a video on that, but I could make an updated one if you want. But yes, if you need a lot of work on your store, and I would love to do an updated video for you, and I would like to do an updated store review and see what edits that you made. I know you're fairly new to reselling, so I would love to see those changes that you make. RC, the retiree 2, what's going on? Welcome on to the live. Appreciate you. Hello, Reseller Tom. This is the first time I caught your live, but I watched your videos and appreciate your insight, tips, and your eyebrows. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Let me know how your sales are going. Let me know if you learned anything that helped you, like on this channel. Let me know if there was anything that resonated with you, that you've learned from this channel that really helped you. Would love to hear. If anyone else got some good value from the videos that I make, let me know what specifically helped you out the most. That way I can just know what works for you guys. Jay Ramsey, all of your items stored in boxes behind you. So not everything. I do have, like when it comes to jackets and really thick clothing or even jeans, I have them in my personal closet. It's not so personal, but for all my heavier jackets and like blazers, I have them hanging up. And I just have a sticker right on the shoulder with the SKU system. That way I can easily find it. But yeah, for the most part, most of my items are stored just in these boxes. So if I have to pull 910, it's just right here. And it's an order from 1 to 1 million basically. So it takes me less than 10 seconds to find an item. And I put that SKU system on eBay. And so when something sells, it'll show me the SKU number of what the item is. So let's say it's 1109, boom, right here. Boom, I get 1109, and it's 1109, 1110, 1111, 1112, and it's just all in order. And so like I said, it takes me literally 2 seconds to find an item. So if you guys haven't, I don't think I've done a video on the SKU system, but I will do it. And if you don't have a SKU system, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, because you're going to waste a lot of time trying to find your items. Revis, my short-term goal is to get to 1,000. I hope to do as good as you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, eBay is really easy. Like, it's really not that hard to make money. You just have to make sure your margin is there. So trying to get items as low as possible and trying to flip it for as high as possible. That's Warren Buffett's main thing, right? And it's the same thing with reselling. You buy low, you sell high. I like this better than the stock market because it's physical. You can touch it. It's not, some paper stock that could go down by 10, 20% if there's bad earnings. And so I've been in the stock market. I made great money in the stock market and in crypto, but you can't really control it like you can with eBay, because if you just get let's say everything I have in my store is Patagonia, my store would be doing like 50, 60 grand per month if it was just Patagonia. And so I try to just source the highest end items like Mountain Hardware, Peter Millar, James Purse, Cole Piranha, Outdoor Research. Like, the list just goes on, and I find those things all the time at the bins. And so my main goal is to fill up my store with just the best items. It obviously takes time to really get good at your Rolodex and all that. But hey, if you guys are watching, make sure you smash the like button. If you smash the like button, you will get a sale within 24 hours. It just works that way. I don't know why it works, but also leave a comment down below and we will get to it and we will provide maximum value. So if you guys have any hardcore questions for me, hammer me away. I'm here to basically answer any questions that you guys have. And I also got a comment recently, and the person's like, why would you do this inventory system? It takes you forever, and there's so many issues with it. And I'm like, dude, it takes me 10 seconds to find an item. It's the best system ever. I've done the bin system. I've done stacking. I've done everything, and this is easily the best system you can possibly do. And I wouldn't do anything else than this for clothing. It literally takes you 5 to 10 seconds, sometimes 1 second if it's right on the outside. Boom. And it's the best ever, honestly. Um, so my short-term goal from iRevis is 1,000. Dude, you'll smash that, bro. Your goal should be 10x. So whatever your goal is right now, you should 10x the goal. 100%. So that for me would be $100,000 a month. So for me, I would have to source like 200 per day, which is going to be hard. But I mean, once you scale and you get like members and you hire people, $200 eventually, or 200 items per day is not impossible. I know people that do 250 per day consistently every single day. Their biggest issue is shipping. They say the shipping never stops. It never ends, which is a good problem to have. But at the same time, it could be very time consuming. So, but he does a very volume-based business model, so I'd rather just cut that in half and have just gold items, spend less time packing and sorting and shipping, and more time having time and financial freedom. So that's why I really just stress it over and over again for you guys to just try to get super high ASP clothing items. And yep. iRevis, the last teacup I sold was $31. Nice, that's awesome. I didn't realize that was a niche that people do on eBay, but it makes sense. What would you say is the best brand for teacups? Like, is it like a Japanese teacup? Like, what's the most expensive, like high tier teacup brand, or what features does it have that makes it expensive, or where is it from? PJR, where can I have a good Excel for my accounting? Thanks. I don't have one. I just pay my CPA. But I know that there's a bunch of like reselling accounting information on YouTube. I'm not an accountant. I don't do my taxes. I have someone else help me, and then I just sign off on it. And so I can't really speak too much on accounting. Like, accounting and math wasn't my strong suit in school. So I just like making money and doing the work. Yosef, I got a question, Tom. I have 1-bedroom apartment. Can I have storage for all these in 1 bedroom? Just wondering. Yeah, so I have a 2-bedroom, but this is actually a bedroom. Like, there's a bed right here. So theoretically, I could have this whole system, and if I just had a 1-bedroom, I would just sleep right here, and then everything is just in one room. So you absolutely can. I can fit like 2,000 items right next to this bed. This is a bed right here. This was supposed to be the guest room, but I kind of turned it into a inventory system as well. But I get the best of both worlds. I can sleep here, and my office, my desk is right here. I know a lot of people like separating it, but I don't get distracted. Like, I don't have an issue with getting distracted, or I don't have an issue with working where I sleep. Like, I don't really care. But yeah, you can absolutely have this system and a bed and still have room and still have space. And I do have a bedroom on the other side. But yeah, I've slept here many times with these boxes right here. So you could absolutely have a 1-bedroom and just have these racks in your bedroom as well. Travis Wick, what size boxes are those? That's a really good question. I got it on Amazon. I will, I don't know the exact, I mean, I guess I could look it up for you. But guys, list your questions down below with any questions that you have. It'll help me basically extend this live, and it'll help me provide more value for you guys. So let's see what these boxes were. So these boxes I got on Amazon, and it was 24 inches. So 24 inches long. And then it's 9 by 9. So 9 by 9 and then 24 inches in. And you can get it on Amazon. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, you can ask for the link, and I'll just send you this link really fast. But I don't really have time to like answer a bunch of questions. Like, this is where you guys can ask your questions. So when it comes to questions, sending me personal messages, I'm pretty busy, but I am devoting the time right now to answer any questions. So if you guys have questions, this is the time to ask. But it'll take me a second to send you this link. So if you want the link, you can send it to me, but you can just go on Amazon, type in 24 9 by 9 boxes, and you should see them. And yeah, so hopefully that helped you. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, you can send me a message and I'll send you the link. My Instagram username is pretty much just the same. It's just Reseller Tom. Jay Ramsey, thank you. Yosef, also, can you explain hot ticket items? I watched literally 20 of your videos. Does hot ticket items change periodically? Yeah, so, things are always changing and you always have to be on top of it. And the best way to really learn new brands is just studying, YouTube channels. Just literally type in eBay thrift haul, what sold videos on eBay, and just really study what people are selling. Because there's nothing special about me. It's just, like, people don't care about who's selling it. They just want the item. So like, you could come into eBay with zero social media. That's why I love eBay. You can come into eBay with zero social media and just make 10 grand your first month if you know what you're doing. If you're an expert at good quality brands, high sold through rate brands, you could come into eBay in your first month, make $10,000. Like, people do it. Like, people come from Poshmark and they start fresh from eBay and make $10,000 the first month. It's not because they're famous on social media. It's because they just understand good brands. And eBay doesn't care about who you are. They just care about what brands you're putting in your store. So if you have good brands, no matter who you are, it's going to sell. Even if your account is in really bad standing, like, let's say you're below standard, but you're uploading, the best items possible at the best prices possible in the market and the best quality items possible, you're still going to get sales. It doesn't really matter if you have promoted on or anything like that. If you have a good item and a good price with zero promoted listings, you could still get the sale 100% organically. Irivas, do you put your item number in the description section of eBay, or is that in the title? So there's a SKU. So when you're looking at your bulk editor and you're looking at, there's like a box that says SKU, and I just put all my SKUs there. But I know people that do put their SKU number in the title and in the description. I put mine specifically just in the there's literally a section that just says SKU number, and you just put it in there. And I know people also take a picture of, like, people usually will pack. So once they're done their 20 listings, so in the photo process for a lot of professional resellers, when they're done taking the photo for the item, they will immediately bag it, put the SKU number on, and they'll take a picture of the SKU number and upload that when they do their listing. That way, if it gets lost or anything, or if something happens with the SKU and it gets deleted or whatever, they do have a picture on their actual listing. That way they can locate it. And so I think that's really, really smart. It's something that I don't do because sometimes if it gets deleted or something happens and you don't have the SKU system, it's going to be torturous to go through everything to find the item. So I think when you're doing your listing, it's smart to take a photo of the item bagged with the SKU number in addition to putting the SKU in the SKU section. Anna Ramirez, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Do you recommend putting measurements on every clothing? Absolutely, you have to. 100%. Every single listing needs to have measurements. 100%. If you want to go from 1% conversion rate to like 30 to 50% conversion rate, I'm just throwing those numbers up. You need to have measurements. Like, my sales went from 1 per day to 10 per day when I just added that one simple thing, measurements. And then if you want to increase it even more, you put the fabric tag or the style code in your listing. And it takes a little longer, but you can make more money when you apply the style code, because when you search up the style code on Google, you get the main keywords of that item, and you get for instance, like, there's a bunch of North Face jackets, but if you can look up the style code and get the exact name of that North Face jacket, you can command way more money, and you can get a better feel for what the market is for that specific item. So Anna, thank you for the question. Really good question. Yosef, I got one question. I got a guy who sells Hoka sneakers at a flea market for $30. Would you buy them? Are you good at seeing what kind of sneakers to get? I think 30's pretty high, because let's say you sell it for 60. Let's just say let's say with all the fees and the shipping and everything, you might just get your 30 back. So I think 30's pretty high for Hokas. At my Goodwill, I found Hoka for like $7 to $10. So I would say for shoes, try to keep it under $10. And I think Hoka is a really good brand. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good brand. You really have to see what your profit margins are after fees and everything, to see if it's really worth it. But Hokas are a huge bolo. And I would go to thrift stores, and a lot of them will have Hokas. Some of them do overprice Hokas, but you can catch them slipping sometimes, or you can find them at the bins. Like at the bins, I found Hokas, and it probably cost me like $6 or $7. They have some wear and tear, but not bad. Yosef, my goal honestly is 15,000 per month to get into a bigger place doing this, so I don't have to pay someone else. Yeah, I think that's a awesome goal, man. You just have to work on your store. You got a lot of work to do, my man. Make sure I just did a community post with like it was like, if you go on my YouTube, go to the community. I have, my latest listing is like a photo of how you really want to get your photos to look. It's basically just like a perfect background, and it's just like, it looks so good. Like the polo shirt was centered perfectly in the square format, and it just looked so good. The lighting was great. That's how I want to get all of my items. And that website, if you want to go on the website, it's just Buck Mason. So if you go on Google, just type in Buck Mason and see how they have their photos. They're doing it right. It looks really good. And if I had all my photos look like that, my sales would go through the roof. So Yosef, you need to study Buck Mason photos and try to model that first photo, because the first photo is what's going to get someone to click on it. So you have to have a very professional first photo. Don P, hey Tom, do you do anything specific to get repeat customers? Yeah, so with repeat customers, you really just have to provide, really good service and respond instantly. If you respond instantly and you ship out on time, you ship out really quick and answer all their questions immediately, it's very likely they will become a repeat seller. So getting repeat sellers is giving them a really good deal. So if you give them a really good deal, let's say you accepted an offer, I find that when I accept more offers, I get more repeat business because I gave them a really good deal. So to get more repeat customers, you have to give them a really good deal. Accept pretty much all offers if it's profitable and if you can find that item. Like for instance, like Nike shorts, something I can find every single day. If someone sends me an offer for $10, I will absolutely accept it because I can go tomorrow and get the same shorts. So RC, the retiree too. The video where you discussed your format on standardizing listings was very helpful. They have my stats have improved, so thank you. Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, the title format is extremely important, and that SEO format is probably the most important thing if you want to have really good success on eBay. Like when I adjusted my titles and adjusted the SEO, like my whole business changed. So titles are literally the most important thing, and you really want to get all 80 characters filled out. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any final questions. Thank you for everyone that liked the live. We have 13 likes right now, so I really appreciate that. If you guys have any final questions, let me know. If not, we will end it here. But I will give you guys like 3 minutes to ask any more questions. In the meantime, you guys just have to be consistent. You have to pick a daily listing number that you can stick to, that is duplicatable and that you can afford, and really just try to list as often every single day, the same number every single day, and make sure all your titles are SEO optimized. And I think that's really just the main thing, is just listing consistently every single day, doing a listing strategy that you can actually afford, because you don't want to spend your way out of business. You don't want to get into a situation where you can't pay your bills because you have too aggressive of a listing goal. So keep it very conservative and small in the beginning. Have maybe 5 per day or whatever it is, but you have to stick with that listing goal every day and then slowly go up over time. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. Thanks, Don. I Rivas. Thank you all for tuning in today. And Thank you all for all the value and all the engagement and everything. If you are just watching this right now, feel free to watch the replay. And